I'm Lindsay Lippman. Here are your headlines from Central Texas. New details about the accusations against an Army OBGYN. Major Blaine McGraw is accused of sexual misconduct and secretly recording his female patients at Fort Hood's Darnell Army Medical Center. At the center of this case are the women who say they've been traumatized. Our Juliana Jackson spoke with former patients, and we want to warn you, parts of their story may be triggering.
The lawsuit filed in Bell County accuses Major Blaine McGraw of sexually exploiting and secretly recording female patients, and alleges that his misconduct was not isolated. It was part of a long, disturbing pattern. We spoke with two of McGraw's former patients. They aren't part of the lawsuit, but they say they suffered through the same trauma. And a lot of the reports that we've seen, there was no one else in the room, no nurses. They would kick a husband out. Is this what happened to you also?
He kicked my husband out repeatedly. After I told my husband about the first incident, my husband would continue to try and go in there and be with me, and every single time he would tell my husband he was not allowed in there for the physical exam. I was never offered a chaperone, so it was just always me and him in that room.
When the investigation began, she says she didn't hear from the Army. She found out on social media.
Gave my statement and walked out with a pamphlet.
A second woman, who we're also not identifying, says she didn't notice the, quote, red flags at first.
He put his phone in his breast pocket and then proceeded to perform a vaginal exam on me. Just kind of pushed it aside and didn't really think anything of it, or tried not to rather, because, again, this was a doctor I trusted.
The lawsuit alleges investigators recovered thousands of photos and videos from McGraw's devices. Support groups like the Shield of Sisters are stepping up to help victims.
The stories we're hearing are absolutely horrific. Put yourself in their shoes and understand right now they feel betrayed. They're scared. They don't know what's going to happen.
For now, the alleged victims say they're leaning on each other and the people they trust. By sharing your story, what is the main message that you are hoping to send?
You took a piece of me, but you didn't take all of me, and I will come out stronger. And so will all these other women.
The Army told us they're committed to supporting any patients affected by these allegations. They say they've now sent out patient notifications, set up a dedicated call center, assigned special victims counsel, and created a support line. McGraw is suspended from Darnell Medical Center, but there have not been any criminal charges filed against him. McGraw's attorney sent 6 News this statement last week saying, quote, Dr. McGraw has been fully cooperative with the investigation. We've expressed to the government our concern that plaintiffs' attorneys are holding press conferences, citing inaccurate information apparently learned from government sources. At this point, it's best to let the investigation complete before we comment, end quote. The Army CID has a list of McGraw's previous service history. From August 2009 to October 2011, McGraw was in a physician assistant program in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and Fort Sam Houston here in Texas. After being in Texas, McGraw went back to Fort Campbell, where he served as a battalion physician's assistant from October 2011 to June 2019. One of those years he served in Afghanistan. Shortly after, McGraw went to Oahu, Hawaii, where he served as an OBGYN intern and resident from June 2019 to August 2023. After his residency in Hawaii, McGraw came to Fort Hood, where he worked as an OBGYN physician from August 2023 until last month, with a brief deployment to Iraq and Syria for 5 months in 2024. And those are your headlines from Central Texas.